How to be good enough. I don't think I know anyone have I ever met or interacted with who at one point in their life did not feel good enough. That could be you don't feel good enough for your father, your mother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or maybe you just don't feel good enough in general, like you're not worthy, that you'll never be good enough for anyone, and that you can't offer the world something. And I've been pondering the past week on how to exactly to tackle this question, how to be good enough. And what I want you to understand is the question, how to be good enough, is to focus on be. Because how to be good enough is a state of being that starts with you, that starts with yourself. What I have found in my own life, and I think this will apply to many, is that when you and me live by someone else's standard, we will always feel not good enough. When you and me allow someone else to give us value, that we place our value into them, we lose all confidence in ourselves. I have found in my own life that the perception that we have of ourselves is far more powerful and critical to ourselves than how other people see us, how other people perceive us from the outside world. You and me are our own inner critic. We destroy ourselves. We say all these sorts of things to ourselves that we're not good enough, we're horrible, we're stupid. We use our inner critic to criticize ourselves so much that we start to believe them. But they're not true. Our own inner critic, the things that we say that you're horrible, that I'm not worthy, is simply not true. It stems the reason we have, and the reason we listen to our inner critic like this, and we apply this inner critic to ourselves and feel not good enough, is because we allow these BS, belief systems, to control us. I personally look at my life as a story, a long, ongoing journey that I am going throughout my life. And part of that journey, that part of my story, is changing my inner critic, changing myself to rewrite my story or change my journey based upon things that I know are bad for me. Using my inner critic to hate on myself constantly and consistently. If you have been a subscriber of mine for any amount of time, you would know that I've made quite a few extensive videos on the topic of body image for men and women, specifically of the younger generation, because going through puberty, going through that younger, 15, 16, 17 years of age is very, very detrimental to teens and young adults. How to be ourselves, how to be good enough, it starts with you and me being able to love ourselves 100%. How do you and me be good enough? It starts with forming a deeper relationship with ourselves, getting to know ourselves, and looking at our body, looking at us as a vehicle that keeps moving forward, that gets to place A and gets to place B and gets to place C. Growing up in my religious household, I found myself living by other people's standards constantly, and it was destroying me, it was crippling me. I was what you would call a people pleaser. Someone who goes out of his way to please everybody by living by their standard. Goes back to the start of this video. By living by someone else's standard. By giving someone value to where I lose my confidence over myself. You and me have to let go of society's expectations of us and let it go, or else it will destroy us. It will shape us into what is known as a perfectionist. And boy, do I know what perfectionism feels like. How to be good enough. Destroy that perfectionist spirit by trying to live by other standards. To me, when we let go of perfection, that is where true perfection actually begins, is by letting it go. Something that I have found in my own life has been extremely challenging, even into my later, younger, mid-20s. I'm still to this very day dealing with how to eliminate my perfectionist spirit, where I verbally use my inner critic to tell all these bullshit belief systems, BS, regarding myself, which I know are not true. You and me don't feel good enough because we're trying to reach to something that doesn't exist, that perfection that you and me are trying to strive for. My inner critic tells me that I'm too skinny, that no one will want to be my friend because of my body image or because of my scars, or that I'm ugly, that I'm a horrible person, that I, Daniel Sulzbach, am not worthy of anybody, that I'm no good, and I have to change that. You have to change that. I often find myself judging my own emotions that I feel. My inner critic tells me, Daniel, you can do better than this. Daniel, shut the fuck up. What you have to say is not important. All of these voices in our head, this inner critic, just keep pounding us and pounding us and pounding us, telling us all of these terrible things. In order for us to silence this inner critic that we have in ourselves, we have to actually listen to it. Once you and me silence our inner critic and listen to it, we will no longer have a reaction to it. You and me should be asking ourselves, how much of what I'm saying right now at this very moment to myself, that I'm horrible, that I'm ugly, that I'm stupid, that I'm thin, that I'm not good enough, how much of that is really true? That's what I mean by listening to your inner critic. By listening to it is by asking ourselves the question, how much is what I am telling myself verbally, abusing myself, crippling myself, how much of that is true? Remember at the start of this video, I said that the question how to be good enough is a state of being, how to be good enough. In order to get into that state of being, you and me need to do things that make us feel worthy, to make us feel loved, and learn to love ourselves. For those of you who don't know, I'm a pianist. I play the piano, and when I play the piano, that makes me feel worthy. Maybe to you it's art. Maybe to you it's listening to music. Maybe it's to you playing instruments. Maybe it's video gaming. You and me have to stop blaming other people for how we feel, because you and me have to create our own happiness. You and me have to become the source of our own happiness. And the crazy thing is that as I'm making this video at this very moment, filming it, there are people in our world right now who are attempting to live by society's standard. You and me have to create our own unique value system rather than live by the value system and standards of society and other people. Because when you do that, you will not feel good enough. You and me have to create a world around us, an environment, by placing value on what is most important to you. That person on the other side of a camera who I don't know, you have to put value on what is important to you. I don't even know if this video was helpful at all. I really hope this video was helpful to some of my subscribers, because I know this is an ongoing battle that many people face, and it's an ongoing every place around us. And if you know someone who is struggling and doesn't know how to be good enough and is saying that they're not good enough, send them this video. Hope it will help them in some way, make them think differently, and maybe give them the methods on how to eliminate our inner critic and how we can look at ourselves and see that the things that we're saying to ourselves is not true. Silence the inner critic by listening to it and asking how much are the things that I'm saying to myself true. Thank you guys for watching.